Brian, Indiana Creek Gold, down here with the puppies. Aspen, stay down here. First trip for Aspen up here to the bridge. So, try to keep an eye on her. Millie's been down here 100 times, ain't you, Mildred? Millie, gold sniffing dog. Down here, I was going to dredge. Waters went down exponentially. It's warmed up too, but don't have a lot of time. I'm gonna go fishing this evening and fix an early supper. I don't want back killing me. So what we're going to do, besides watch the dogs splash around, floods came through. Some hard floods this last year. Washed a lot of that out. But we have the shell layer you can see here. And this is all exposed bedrock. I mean, I'm walking on solid rock right now. All across here. Big cracks all through it. I mean, big slabs. Big old slabs lifted up over here in the flood. We're gonna have to get up under it. But yeah, that's bedrock bottom here and shell. Up here is a shell layer. You see tailings from running the RPE. Got all these shell layers here that have a lot of it's flaked off over the winter and during the floods. A lot of this stuff's crumbled apart here and broke up. And there's plenty of material up under this. I'm not counting flood material that washes in here. So sometimes we get into some pretty decent gold like in between these layers and stuff. So what I'm going to do, I brought the USS jet sled. It didn't work too bad last time. We didn't find much gold, but it worked pretty good as far as material. We actually have a classifier with us today. So we're going to put some water in here, flat nose shovel, and scrape up a bunch of this stuff, rinse it off, clean off as much material as we can. I've got my little turkey baster suction dredge thing. We might clean up if we need to. But basically what I'm going to do is just scrape the bedrock and all the shell layers that's broke up over the winter and during the floods and work it. And we shall see what we get. Let's keep an eye on the pups too. Down here, Aspen. That's no go over there. Still gotta learn. She's a smart dog. Ain't smarter than Millie. I don't come much better than Mildred, but she is a really good dog. She's adventurous. She was out on her own stray, you know, pretty much emaciated when we got her. 20, 30 below temperatures at the time. So she's not afraid to go out on her own exploring. So gotta sort of keep that in check. But let me get some stuff set up here. Get the bridge sluice down here. The old RPE. And water in the tub, and then we'll get some material. All right, dogs want a little rock throwing session before we get too serious about things. Aspen found my chair that washed down the creek. Oh, Millie's half lab, so and half German Shepherd. So she's guard dog and water dog all in one. And spoiled. Aspen's husky and something. Aspirin. She got two different brown eye and a blue eye. All right, I gotta get to work for a minute, Millie. You know how it is. Gold sniffing dog. You're supposed to be finding gold for me, picking out. Where's gold at over here, Millie? Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, playtime. Look at her. They'll be wore out tonight. All right. Aspen's sniffing around some roots over there. Millie's waiting for me to throw rocks. And in the meantime, we got a couple inches of water in here. Our big XP classifier, that ain't good for a whole lot, unless you're using the XP pan that sits down inside, because it sure as hell don't fit inside the bucket, but it will work perfect for this. It's gonna be classified a little bigger than what I want, but that's okay. The sluice is sort of thrown in the water there. It sort of looks all twisted, whacked up. Might have to do something about that. That far side bottom's way low, or the side's way high. Works out the same, I guess. But we're just going to, right here is where we're going to start. All that stuff. Like I said, that's, you can see these shell layers sticking out of the bank right through here, and you can see the big slabs of it there. But all this stuff is broken up over the winter, and with the floods, you can see how it's, you know, flakes off there pieces. So we're going to scoop all that stuff up. We know there should be some flood gold. Hopefully there's some gold that was trapped under the shell layers. We are going to classify it, and hopefully find some gold. I got that flat nose shovel that we leave down here, so that ought to work perfect. Probably ain't gonna run a whole lot of material because I don't want to be bending way the hell down there classifying all this stuff. But yeah, let me get situated, throw a rock or two for Millie, and we shall return. All right, we dug over in there, back into there, down into here. I got down probably that deep, busting up layers, down to a solid bedrock layer. Got the shell off of it, clean that all out really good. Got this out, cleaned out really good. Right here, there was a bunch of pieces there. Like I said, a bunch of material down in there. Right there, there's got that cleaned down to bedrock. Busted a bunch of pieces off here. Threw a bunch of big pieces out there. There's part of our tailing pile. But it feels like there's quite a bit of material. Yep, there's quite a bit of material in there again. That's going to be another big test for the RPE. For sure, for sure. Yeah, quite a bit of material there. More than what I thought. There's going to be a lot of heavies in there, I would think. Should be some good stuff. So let me get the sluice situated around. I'm probably going to need a big rock to tie this off to. It might sit on bottom pretty good for a while. Another rock for Millie. You can see this. I got a rock under that side coming here. Not real stable. Can't see. Maybe that's why I had that under there. We'll see how it works and adjust accordingly, I guess. This thing's real low over here. I don't know. Sort of hinky how the water's flowing through there. We're redirecting a lot of it here. So let's get a bucket sit on and see what it's looking like running material through there. Okay, we are set up. Back Millie, her and her rocks. She's as bad as Rain Man is. Both of them have already stomped into Sluice several times. Millie, you're getting ready to go back up to the house. They are getting ready to actually go up the house. Jackson's gonna come down here and get them in a little bit. Get up there and get dried off. We got stuff to do later. That's probably going to involve them, so they need to dry off some before they get in vehicles. Might do a little fishing expedition later on. Oh, we shall see. Get out of there. This should be some really good material. I said a lot of it came right off the bedrock, and the rest of it came between busted pieces of shell, and holy shit, are you there? A nugget. They're probably a flake. But wow. Found one of those there about a month ago on downstream about that size. We'll take it. What do you think about getting 4 or 5 more of them and get Millie? And there it went. So did the RPE catch it? The riffles, do you think? Yeah. That's the reason dogs are going back up the house. You can watch videos from last year of me down here sluicing and that same thing happening. 2 or 3 dogs running through it at one time. Good one. That was not ideal, Mildred, the gold sniffing dog. Yeah, give me the side eye. You know, you ain't supposed to be losing gold like that. What's the matter with you, Millie? The hell? Aspen! Get over here, over here. And Aspen's too doggy ADHD for too long without Denali being down here. If D was here, they could just run around and wrestle and act stupid. Millie wants to chase rocks and stomp gold out of the sluice. Aspen wants to explore and play. Yeah, it was there, Millie. Look, it was, yep. Yeah, you trying to eat the gold now? You're supposed to point it out. Come on, more chunkers. Gotta be more than one, right? Well, at least we got it on video. Yeah. Mildred. Puppy, puppy. Get back. Jack. Here, Millie. There. There. Go chase a rock down the creek. Hey, maybe she thinks I'm chucking gold. Oh, these two. All right, I'm going to get my phone out of my hand before it gets knocked out of my hand. It is indeed not waterproof. So, we'll be back. I'll walk around in the circus. Jackie came. Cole's big ass, 5 sizes too big for him boots to get the dogs. Yep, you're going to have to take the walk of shame back up to the cabin, Millie. Yeah, you know it too. Look at her. I know. Go. Back. Go. Back on. Go on. Go, Millie. Go. Millie, go. Under protest. Get up the house, Millie. The sluice will be safer. Go on. Go. Get up there, Millie. Go. You gotta go. They love the water. Sluice is not safe for them being down here. I didn't think about that. They have plenty of fun. Alright, we've ran about half our material. I am going to go ahead and clean this out. Just dump it in our garret since I'm sitting on a bucket. Simply because, see that? All that material sitting in there and very, very little material exchanging through there. Big part of that is there's tons of flat, thin pieces of shell filling those riffles up, packing everything in there. So, we get another one of those chunkers. I don't want it to go bouncing right over the top of all that stuff. So we're going to dump that out, and then we'll come back and run the rest of this. All right, we got it dumped out. I ain't got a whole lot of time, but what we're going to do is do the tap, 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 and just see if we can catch a glimpse of that chunker or not. See a bunch of iron in there. There it is. There it is. Ha ha. Nice flake. Nice. That's like I said, sort of reminiscent of the ones that me and Scott found down the creek. That fire goal. Sweet. No, it's still there. Alright, I didn't clean that out. I filled this up several times. That's why I clean these like tracks out here with, and the holes in there. I recommend getting one of these, everybody, no matter where you're at. Reinhardt dredge, they're awesome. They do plug up, carry a wire or something to run up inside there, but they do the job. Turkey baster action. All right, let's get back to it. I'll be getting up home fixing supper soon. Also on my list of recommendations is a crevicing tool, basically exactly like this. Maybe not with a shit bin out of it, but one with a spoon on the end. Drag, cleans material out of those cracks, up from underneath rocks. Use it a lot when we're dredging, pulling stuff to the nozzle. Right here for cleaning down in them cracks. Crevicing. All you need, a pan, one of those Reinhardt dredges, crevicing tool. Maybe a shovel and classifier if you get into some material, but crevicing wise, that's about all you need. All right, back to the regularly scheduled program. If I can shut my phone off, it's all wet. There. All right, back feeding Sluice. starting fresh. Ready for a fresh chunker. Got a little more water flow over on this side. It seems. This shell just don't want to move. Is a big part of the issue. It don't want to slide, and once it gets in those riffles, it does not want to move. Getting a little carried away. We know our riffles are clean to catch it though, but see how that shell is sitting in there? Beautiful, beautiful day down here. Around 80, I think, close to it today. The gnats down here and mosquitoes can be pretty bad. The gnats especially. I did battle with a horsefly down here the other day. And if any of y'all know, like, if you go tubing, canoeing, something like that, or you're wet, floating down a creek somewhere, river, what have you, if a big old horsefly gets after you, that thing will follow you for miles and miles and keep attacking it. Ah, those things hurt so bad. Leave big old welts with big old holes in the middle. It got me 3 times before I finally got it. So it was horsefly 3 and me 1. It was rough. First time it got me on the side through the shirt, and it's got me on the back of the neck, and when it got me on the inside of the arm, I got it. But they're pretty bad down here sometimes too. So a lot of this is probably deposited flood material, because we usually have that bedrock cleaned off pretty good by the end of the season every year. Some of it, like I said, came out of the Reinhardt grid. And then a lot of it comes from between those layers, which I'm suspecting that flake probably came from between shell layers or out of one of those cracks. Would be a pretty good common theory, I would think. Nice and peaceful down here. Now the dogs ain't stomping all over everything and barking and whining, wanting me to throw rocks. I love the dogs. I love bringing dogs down here, but better suited for high banking and dredging. For sure. And Aspen's adapting pretty good. So, she got a good teacher with Millie, though. For sure, for sure. I ain't even paying no attention. I don't know how long. I guess I'll see when I do editing, maybe. How long that piece had been in sitting in the sluice before we noticed it, and then it got dislodged. I wasn't paying much attention, obviously, or unless we had just dropped it in there. That's a possibility too. See, if a person could just find a pile of those every time, it would be pretty damn sweet. But it is in the end. So, and there's definitely lots of places with lots better gold than here in Indiana. I ought to be picking those big rocks out of there. Being lazy. Alright. We're getting down to the pickings here. So, this stuff's sort of dried up here in the corner. Need to mix it up some. Dry clumps will just roll out into the sluice before it's all broke up. That's not there. So, let me put my phone up. We'll finish running this stuff and see if we can see anything. Alright, we cleaned out our little Reinhardt dredge here. Let's see if anything was stuck in it. Can always hope. Another big fat chunker. We usually crevice pretty good right here. A few times a year anyway. Flip a few tiles, as little brother called it when he was down here over in Vendetta. Not a lot of heavies in this. One little speck. One little flake there that we washed down. Alright, get this in with the cons. Need to get our sluice, yeah, we gotta get that sled rinsed out. When we get it rinsed out into here, we'll do a little wash back and look, and then probably just throw it in with our cons, and then we'll drag the RPE out. I doubt we do much of a cleanup now. There'll be a video to come later deal on that. I said I got stuff to do. I need to go fix supper so we can go catch some fish. Try to get a mess of bluegill for a good fresh fish fillet supper one night soon. So let's get some stuff cleaned up, and we'll have another peek or two and get it wrapped up. Alright, this is what was stuck in the sled. Not a whole lot. We got rinsed out pretty good, scraped out. I think I had some soap. Let me zoom in a little bit. Made our panning table a little taller here. Big rocks out of there. Yeah, we'll do a good cleanup video. Take our time and go through that stuff. Push that flake out of there. Go flake fishing. Let's put these rocks down out of here. speck right there. But when we got strained to sand, doesn't really matter, does it? Few right there, and some little bitty micro stuff. Yeah, not much. For sure. Alright. What we got? Alright, we do have a keeper in the top. Not a monster, but by golly, you can see it right there. A little chunky piece. It's not that so bad yet. In the indicator, maybe a little speck right there. Yeah, let's dump it out and see what else we can maybe see real quick. Alright, we got her cleaned out. We know we had that one piece. We're not exactly really gonna pan this, but I'm gonna throw a little of that heavy material in there and just do a little tap and look see. Get that gold to work down through that shell. We'll just do get rid of some water. Some more water. Right there. There's a piece showing up right there. There we go. Three pieces just poking through right there. One right there. Oh, there's that chunky piece, I think. Another speck right there. I bet if we'd have took our time and see, look at all that micro gold. It looked in that first run. We just, I was worried about seeing if that big one was in there. There's little sparkles all over in there. Wash a bunch of it down. Most of it. Yeah, we know we ain't skunked. Sort of look forward to seeing what we really have in there though. So yeah, be watching for the cleanup video coming to you soon. You all take care. I appreciate you following along. Make sure to subscribe if you are not, and you all take care.